You ever have one of those days, you know the ones. You're just running from task to task, your phone's buzzing off the hook, and when you finally look up, it's 5 p.m. You're totally drained, but you can't point to a single meaningful thing you actually accomplished. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. That feeling of being swamped and distracted, it's become the new normal. But what if there's a better way?
So, I want you to ask yourself a question, and be really honest here. Is your day filled with busyness, or is it filled with productivity? Because, and this is so important, they are absolutely not the same thing, not even close.
Let's just break this down for a second, because this is the whole game right here. On one side, you've got busyness. That's the stuff that fills our days, right? The endless hamster wheel of answering emails, jumping from one meeting to the next, reacting to every single notification. It feels like work, for sure, but it's shallow. Then, on the other side, you've got true productivity. This is creating something new that didn't exist before. It's getting better at a skill that matters. It's wrestling with a tough problem until you crack it. That's where the real value is. But here's the thing. This isn't just a personal failing, like you just need more willpower. We are living through an epidemic of distraction. Our entire modern world, from open-plan offices to the little devices in our pockets, is basically engineered to pull us away from doing anything meaningful. But there is a powerful antidote to this chaos. There's a skill, a kind of superpower for the 21st century, that lets you cut through all that noise, and it's called deep work.
So, what exactly is deep work? Well, the author Cal Newport, who coined the term, defines it like this. It's any professional activity you do in a state of pure, distraction-free concentration that pushes your brain to its absolute limit. This isn't just about checking off a to-do list. It's about stretching your abilities to create something new and valuable.
And look, this isn't some fluffy self-help idea. It's not just another productivity hack. This whole concept is grounded in the actual mechanics of our brains. You know, how we learn, how we focus, and why trying to do multiple things at once is so incredibly damaging to our performance.
And the key scientific idea we need to talk about is something called attention residue. Okay, so here's how it works. Every single time you switch from one task to another, let's say you're writing a report and you just quickly check an email, a part of your brain's attention literally gets stuck on the thing you just left. This residue makes it impossible to give your full brain power to whatever you're doing now.
Just think about that for a second. With every single switch, a piece of your focus, a chunk of your cognitive horsepower gets left behind. All those quick checks of your phone, your email, your messages, they're leaving this trail of fractured attention all day long, and it's degrading the quality of everything you do.
Here's probably the best analogy I've ever heard for it. Multitasking isn't like having a bunch of programs running smoothly at the same time. No. It's like forcing your computer to completely shut down and reboot, over and over and over again, every few minutes. Can you imagine how inefficient and exhausting that would be? Well, that's what we're doing to our brains.
Okay, so we get the problem. This attention residue is the enemy of high-quality work. But how do we actually fight back? How do we reclaim our focus and start doing real deep work? Well, it all comes down to building the skill around 3 core pillars. Here they are. Pillar number 1, you have to protect your time. I mean, treat your focus like it's a fortress, and you've got to be ruthless in defending it from distractions. Second, you have to schedule your focus. Don't just wait for inspiration to strike. It won't. You need to block out deep work sessions in your calendar like they are the most important meetings of your day, because they are. And third, you have to embrace productive solitude. Deep work happens in quiet, not in chaos. Now, it's really important to get this. Deep work is not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. The way a novelist does it is going to look totally different from how a busy CEO does it. The whole key is to find a philosophy or a mode that actually fits your life and your job. And there are basically 4 main ways to approach this. You've got the monastic approach. That's the extreme version, like a writer hiding in a cabin. Then there's bimodal, where you cycle between long periods of deep focus and being available. You have the rhythmic approach, which is all about making deep work a consistent daily habit. And finally, the journalistic approach, which is perfect for people with crazy schedules who need to squeeze in deep work whenever they can. You know, which one of those sounds like it could actually work for you?
So why go through all this trouble? Why build these habits and defend your time like a hawk? Because the payoff, the reward for doing this is absolutely immense. This is the good part. First, in this economy, the ability to learn hard things fast is a legitimate superpower, and deep work is the engine for that. When you learn with that kind of intense focus, you are literally rewiring your brain faster and more effectively than any other way.
Second, deep work lets you produce work at the highest possible quality. When you give a single task your full, undivided attention, the output is just better. It's more creative, it's more insightful, it's more valuable than anything you could possibly produce while juggling a dozen distractions.
And what happens when you can learn complex stuff quickly and produce work at an elite level? Well, you become indispensable. You become the person everyone relies on to solve the hard problems, to create the real breakthroughs, and to actually move things forward.
So here's the bottom line. As the rest of the world gets noisier, more distracted, and more shallow, the ability to truly focus becomes rarer, and because it's rarer, it becomes more valuable. Deep work isn't just a nice little productivity skill, it is the ultimate unfair advantage in the 21st century.
So let's make this real. I want to leave you with a challenge. Think about that one project, that one problem that if you solved it could change everything for you. Got it? Okay. Now, I want you to block out just 60 minutes for it tomorrow. That's it. No phone, no email, no distractions. Just pure, uninterrupted focus. What do you think you could achieve?
Because while most people are out there drowning in the shallow end of the pool, the future is going to be built by the few who have mastered the ability to go deep. The future belongs to the focused.